Welcome to the 5-Star Preps Walkthrough. Powered by Coker Rental Company. The Walkthrough delivers important pregame news, breakdowns of the week's biggest matchups, and more from the teams and players you spend your fall Friday nights cheering for.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Now, join us as our host, Jesse Smithey, and the rest of the 5-Star Preps team deliver the most comprehensive high school football coverage in East Tennessee. It's time for the 5-Star Preps Walkthrough.
Welcome in, everybody, to episode 4 of the Walkthrough presented by Coker Rental. As always, check them out at rentcoker.com at the corner of Clinton Highway and Raccoon Valley Road up there in Claxton. Rentcoker.com. Excavators, loaders, pressure washers, mulchers, skid steers, lifts, so many things that you might need in your construction project or your home renovation project, indoors or outdoors. Give rentcoker.com a try. They'll have all their amenities and all their equipment and all their pricing detailed out for you right there at rentcoker.com. Thank you so much for their support, supporting high school athletics and what we do at 5-Star Preps each and every week right here on the Walkthrough. All right, let's set the table right here in segment 1. What's on tap for tonight in this show? We got a week 3 rewind. We're going to take a look back at a lot of the upsets and big surprises of week 3. We'll look at some surprise players from week 3, as we always do. Probably 3 or 4 players that really stood out that maybe we weren't expecting to last Friday night. We'll take a look at some highlights from 3 or 4 games in the area from last week. We have our Player of the Week interview coming up. You don't want to miss that. Spencer Russell from Carter High School will be on the program tonight. And we're also going to chat with Lamar Brown, head football coach at West High School. The Rebels 3-0, and they're going to try to go out to Maryville High School tonight and knock off the Rebels there for the second consecutive years. Not too many teams from Knox County have gone out to Blount County and won at Maryville High School. I believe it's been well over 20 years since that has happened. So we'll talk with Lamar Brown about where his program is here in 2023 and kind of what to expect next out of that. So you want to stick around for that interview with Lamar Brown. We'll also take a look in detail at week 4, the top games and storylines that you'll need to know here tonight, just before kickoff here in about 2 hours. And then in our last segment, we'll do what we always do, the Waffle House Who's Eating segment. That's our predictions for social media. All you guys, we always post it on Instagram to let us know who you think is going to have a big night individually or as a team in week 4 of the high school football season. And we'll get to our staff predictions as well in those big games. So a lot on tap on the show tonight here on the Walkthrough presented by Coker Rentals. All right, let's rewind it a bit. Let's go back to week 3. We had some surprising results there. Let's start with Bearden at against Anderson County. The Bulldogs finally get their first win of the season. They knock off Anderson County 45-27. Jaheim Merriweather, the Purdue running back commitment for Bearden High School, senior running back, and then Jason Thompson, sophomore running back, just had marvelous nights running the football. We saw improved throwing of the football by Drew Parrott, their quarterback, making some nice throws on the run, rollouts, deep balls. So some encouraging signs for Bearden looking forward. They have an off week this week, but they'll dive right into the thick of things in region play here in just another week or so, with Hardin Valley coming up, Farragut coming up. Of course, those big region games against Maryville and Bradley Central later in the season. Anderson County falls to 0-3. Nick Moog did not play this past week. He's their star running back / linebacker. Got a little bit of an ankle issue going on. We'll see if he goes this week and in the coming weeks. And tough break there for Anderson County as they fall to 0-3. They played a lot of difficult teams here in the early portion of the season. Still, Zay Hall, their quarterback, threw for over 300 yards in that loss to Bearden. Really played well in that, so I'm not going to press the panic button with Anderson County just yet. I think they'll be just fine in region play and be where they need to be come November. Bradley Central knocks off Maryville 21-13. We've been talking about Bradley Central on this program all season long, kind of warning you that this might happen. Boo Carter, the Tennessee commitment, transferred into Bradley Central. You got Caleb Martin, who's committed to Miami of Ohio, quarterback. He moved into Bradley Central zone in the offseason. And, of course, that pair those two guys up with the talent that Bradley Central already had, and they became a legit contender immediately. They just needed to go out and make a statement win to let everybody know across the state what could possibly happen this year. So Maryville, though, did bounce back in the second half. They shut out Bradley Central in the second half, only allowed about 144 yards of offense to Bradley Central in that second half. But no Gage Ledoux at running back for Maryville. And then their quarterback, Casey Cobble, goes down with injury. Could be a shoulder collarbone issue there. Don't know his availability going forward, how much he'll be available. So looks like Graham Coulter takes over as the quarterback, the sole quarterback. They have been playing two quarterbacks at Maryville High School this year. And so we'll see if Graham Coulter can lead Maryville to a win over West High School here in week 4, because we're not used to seeing Maryville drop 2 games in a row. West beat them last year. We'll see. We'll talk about that more in the program later on tonight. Jefferson County gets a nice win, 25-21 over Science Hill. Jefferson County dropped that opening game against Oak Ridge, but now starting to piece it together. Really like this run game and defensive combination that they have out at Jefferson County this year. Carter, maybe the surprise team of week 3, goes on the road, knocks off Gatlinburg-Pittman, and it was a head scratcher. I mean, Gatlinburg-Pittman returned a 3,000-yard quarterback, a 2,000-yard running back, a Division I prospect at wide receiver, a Division I linebacker, and these are our high major kids at linebacker and wide receiver. And Carter goes down, new quarterback, undersized tailback, and goes down there and wins by 20, 49-29 in week 3. And wow. We moved Carter into our top 12 at number 12, and they deserved it. They went on the road, knocked off a ranked team, and this is kind of interesting to see what's going to materialize from this Carter program after 2 wins in week 2 and week 3, and they got another big one this Friday night. Halls blanked Fulton 21-0. Halls now 3-0. They got an undefeated matchup this week tonight against Hardin Valley. We'll talk about that game in a minute, but again, running the football and defense, you're going to win a lot of football games, and Halls is doing that this year with an impressive offensive line and some nice sound run backs that they have. West High School knocks off Farragut 38-31. Big night for Marshawn Bowers. Long touchdown run, long touchdown catch, and then the back-breaking kickoff return against Farragut, which had battled back for the 3rd straight week to get into the game, and it looked like they were going to kind of force their hand and kind of push West to the brink of a first loss. But Marshawn Bowers, been a leader all season long, returned that kickoff for a touchdown and kind of pushed Farragut away and locked up that win. Oak Ridge won on Rivalry Thursday last week, 35-21. We saw Jarvis Dozier have a really nice football game for Oak Ridge in that one, and continued progression out of Blaine Stansberry, the quarterback there, sophomore at Oak Ridge, as he continues to show off his playmaking skills, his mettle, his moxie, and just keeping an even keel about himself in the pocket. Yeah, there is a turnover here or there, but he's not fretting back there. He's really showing some maturity in the pocket at Oak Ridge, and really like what I'm seeing out of him and the possibility of what he could be later this year and in the future. And lastly, William Blount wins an all-time classic, 29-28 over Heritage, the Battle of the Bell. If you missed our video on that, go to YouTube sometime tonight, this weekend. Check out all the highlights from that game. It's just a dramatic finish and a dramatic ending, and a really, really unheralded rivalry game in our area. Hopefully more people can go out and watch that game in the coming years. All right, we're going to catch our first break. Remember, right here on the show tonight, we'll have Spencer Russell, all-purpose back from Carter High School, our player of the week, and Lamar Brown coming up in just a few minutes on the program. So stick with us right here on the walk.
Endless hold times and that user-friendly website can just add to your frustrations when you need business to run on time. Your contact, who is just a phone call away, doesn't turn out to be so available after all. Best Logistics Group puts you first. When our team promises we can handle that, you can count on us to be there when you need us, not just when it's convenient. To put an end to your supply chain headaches, just remember there's Best Logistics Group.
Technology has certainly made everyone better, but it's the people that separate the good from the best.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Welcome back to the walkthrough presented by Coker Rental. We mentioned in the first segment of having some highlights from week 3. We have a number of great videographers in this area that go out, shoot for us, even some of our photographers. Click it over to video mode and catch some highlights. So here are some of the top plays from week 3 presented by SmartBank.
By SmartBank. Play smart, bank smart. SmartBank. For more information, visit smartbank.com.
Welcome back in. Number of big surprises in week 3 player-wise. We already rewound the week and looked back at some of the team wins and victories and surprises from last week. Well, let's talk about a few players who kind of raised an eyebrow or two in week 3. Let's start off with Jefferson County. Talked about that win over Science Hill that they had 25-21. Defensively, Emmett Newman came to play, 14 tackles, 5 tackles for loss, and 2 sacks. Emmett Newman's been a player for them, and so maybe it's not a huge surprise, but the number of tackles for loss and sacks that he got in that game maybe kind of raise your eyebrow a little bit and go, wow, that guy had an unbelievable game in that win over Science Hill. Isaiah Monday, quarterback, Carter High School, a junior, 21 of 26 passing for 307 yards, 3 touchdowns. Again, Carter's win over Gatlinburg-Pittman was the upset of the week, and Isaiah Monday, even though he didn't win 5-Star Prep's Player of the Week, his teammate Spencer Russell did. We had to give him a shout out in this segment. Great game by Isaiah Monday, 21 of 26 passing on the road. I mean, that'll get the job done. And lastly, Maddox Cup, quarterback, South Doyle High School, 22-yard game-winning pass in a 55-51 just barn burner against Austin East. He gets the win. He goes 27 of 44 passing for 344 yards and 4 touchdowns, and South Doyle gets their first win of the season in just dramatic fashion. So shout out to Maddox Cup, Isaiah Monday, Emmett Newman, our 3 surprise players of the week. All right, coming up, we'll have Spencer Russell join us here on the program, the walkthrough presented by Coker Rentals. I do want to let you know that you can go to 5-Star Preps tonight. Last night, we're going to have the coupon code LIVE50, LIVE50. You'll get 50% off your first month or year subscription payment. It's going to expire tonight, so take advantage of that opportunity tonight and sign up for 5starpreps.com. All right, let's catch up with Spencer Russell, our 5-Star Preps Smith Built Homes Player of the Week for Week 3. 200 all-purpose yards, couple touchdowns there in that win over Gatlinburg Pittman. All right, Spencer, congratulations, Player of the Week for 5-Star Preps. And just what does this honor mean to you, first off?
It means a lot. I couldn't do it without my teammates. They put me in position to basically guarantee me to be successful. So.
Last week, you guys went down on the road to Gatlinburg Pittman, a team with huge expectations, a lot of talent, and won by 20. How did you guys manage to pull that one off?
Our defense and offense clicked on all cylinders. We had a great week of practice. It was just a great week.
Did you feel like y'all executed the game plan coming in, or did you have to adjust what you did and then?
No, we executed it perfect.
Okay. Looking at your role within the offense this year, you're doing a little bit of everything. I see you out of the backfield. I see you in the receiving game, in the return game. Were you expecting that this year, and then how did you prepare for that?
I was expecting to come in and be a slot. I prepared for it because week 1 we did it, week 2 we did it, so I just kind of fit the role.
What's it been like to that? Because it seems like every week you're putting up 200 all-purpose yards. It's not 100 one week, 400 the next. I mean, it's routinely always around 200. How are you able to manage that?
Well, I mean, like I said, it's my teammates, my line. They're great. My QB, he always makes the right reads. We just execute it.
Speaking of your QB, you guys had to replace quite a bit of people this year, and I know we in the media probably doubted a little bit and slept on you guys a little bit. And how much fun has that been to kind of prove some doubters wrong early on?
It's been amazing. It's been amazing. I guess a lot of people thought that we weren't going to do anything this season, that we're just going to be awful, but coming out and then proving them wrong.
The 5-Star Preps Player of the Week is proudly presented by Smith Built Homes, East Tennessee's most trusted home builders since the 1950s. Smith Built dedicates themselves to producing a home that owners, their families, and neighbors can be proud of for generations to come.
Endless hold times and that user-friendly website can just add to your frustrations when you need business to run on time. Your contact who is just a phone call away doesn't turn out to be so available after all. Best Logistics Group puts you first. When our team promises we can handle that, you can count on us to be there when you need us, not just when it's convenient. To put an end to your supply chain headaches, just remember there's Best Logistics Group.
Technology has certainly made everyone better, but it's the people that separate the good from the best.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Congratulations to Spencer Russell, again, our Player of the Week for 5-Star Preps and Smith Built Homes. 600 all-purpose yards this year through 3 games, and he's doing a little bit of everything for Carter. All right, speaking of Carter, they got a big game here in Week 4 against South Doyle. This opens region play. Can Carter keep that momentum that it got in that win over Austin East and in that win over Gatlinburg Pittman? Spencer Russell thinks that this offense is really starting to take off for Carter High School, and we've seen them have big performances before under head coach Justin Presley. Now they want to take this program to another level, and that means winning games like this, getting into the playoffs, and winning a couple games in November. So it all starts right here. So keep an eye on that game. Carter at South Doyle could be a ton of points much like that South Doyle game with Austin East was a week ago with 106 total points. You might want to take the over in tonight's game. Catholic at Innsworth. The Irish go on the road for their first Division II AAA game of the season. They have not done too well in league competition since joining Division II AAA in 2019. Just 7 wins against 16 losses against league competition in that span. So you look at where they are as a program. You got Jaden Neal, quarterback, having a phenomenal year, just a junior. You got Braylon Hardman, a Division I commitment at wide receiver. You got sophomore Tyreek King, who's having a phenomenal sophomore season at Catholic. Those 3 guys need to come to play tonight to get that win over Innsworth, and we'll talk about that. We'll predict that in the last segment, but this is a huge, huge game for Catholic, getting off on the right foot in division play. Rivalry game, Grace Christian at CAK. Both teams coming off of losses. Both teams kind of looking for an answer, just to try to find some feel-good juice, some momentum here in week 4. Tough losses last week, so rivalry game there. I'm not sure either of those programs are really going to make too big a noise of where they are right now in the postseason. That could all change. Next thing you know, you win 3 or 4 games in a row and you're feeling good. But this is a critical game for them in terms of finding a shot in the arm before you get into the thick of league play. And so keep an eye on this game, Grace Christian at CAK. CAK starting to get some players healthy and in skill positions on offense. So who knows? Maybe that lends them to a win here in week 4. Clinton at Campbell County. Just expect points galore in this game and expect a tight game. If you look back all the way to 2016, 2017 range, they played every year, and it's always a one-score game. Last year, 54-48, Campbell County win in overtime. Clinton has all this offensive talent this year. They need to win this football game if they're going to look into the postseason and try to win a postseason game. There haven't been too many postseason runs for Clinton in recent years. So this is a critical game for the Dragons on Friday night up in Campbell County. Hardin Valley at Halls, 2-3-0 programs. Again, who would have thought that would be the case here in week 4? But both teams run the football extremely well. Both teams move people at the line of scrimmage extremely well. And both teams have really, really good defenses. So we like this game to be somewhere in the teens on both sides. And we'll see who comes out victorious. But just kudos again to Jeff Miner, the football coach, second year at Hardin Valley, getting his program in this position. And the same could be said for Brent Hughes, the head coach at Halls, his second year, a Halls alum, only won 2 games last year, and now has his Red Devils at 3-0, almost at the midpoint of the season. So fantastic matchup there. Not going to dictate much playoff-wise. This is a non-region game, but still a fun matchup that we're not used to seeing have some relevance in undefeated records. West at Maryville, maybe the game of the night. West knocked off Maryville last year. Remember, late in the season, that's when Noah Vaughn, the running back at Maryville, got hurt. And then from there, Maryville started to take off a little bit, kind of galvanized its efforts and made it all the way back to the state semifinals again. West went on to win a state championship, undefeated season, first in school history. Sure, Maryville wants a little bit of payback, but Maryville limps into this game. Some key injuries already this year to really big-time players. So will West kind of take advantage of that and kind of smell blood in the water? It's a very opportunistic defense that Lamar Brown has at West High School, playing extremely well right now. And the offense is starting to come about too. We saw the offense start to take a little bit of a step late in that week 1 win over Beard. Then it put up a bunch of points in week 2. Then it put up 38 in a win last week over Farragut. So you're seeing the progression there with the West offense. So we went out to West High School this week, talked with Lamar Brown about his program, where it is right now, where it could be here in 2023. Don't go anywhere when we come back. Lamar Brown right here on The Walkthrough.
endless hold times, and that user-friendly website can just add to your frustrations when you need business to run on time. Your contact who is just a phone call away doesn't turn out to be so available after all. Best Logistics Group puts you first. When our team promises we can handle that, you can count on us to be there when you need us, not just when it's convenient. To put an end to your supply chain headaches, just remember there's Best Logistics Group.
Technology has certainly made everyone better, but it's the people that separate the good from the best.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Welcome back to the walkthrough presented by Coker Rentals. Again, check them out, rentcoker.com, for all your home construction needs or a commercial project that you might have. Skid steers, lifts, pressure washers, so much more equipment that you might need, indoors, outdoors, what have you, at rentcoker.com. Locally owned. I've been in the area for a few years now, so make sure you're giving back to local establishments and businesses here in East Tennessee as they support us in high school athletics. All right, we talked to Lamar Brown this week, the head football coach at West High School, just about what his team has been doing in the early parts of the season, how his quarterback has improved, and what this team could look like come the latter weeks of October. Here is our interview with West football coach Lamar Brown. All right, Lamar, we're in week 4 already. It's kind of crept up on us here, and just where do you feel like this team is and what your vision was for them?
Well, I think we've stayed true to the process. We knew going into this year we're really inexperienced in a lot of positions, and we've gotten better every week. I think there's been an improvement in all areas. The biggest thing is we've made plays when we've had to make plays, and I didn't know how that was going to play out when the year started. But our kids will fight. They've stayed in some ball games and found a way to win them. So I've been really proud of them up to this point.
I think you made a comment maybe in week 1 after that win that you'd hate to face us in October. So that means you probably have an idea what this team could be, and just how have you seen that team continue to work towards that? And like, I know you said you guys have stepped up and made plays, but they're kind of forming their identity.
Yes, they are forming an identity, and and it started in the Bearden game. We was far from perfect, but they kept playing, kept fighting, and kept clawing, and then made a play to cut it to 10-7, and then defensively we get a stop, and then have a 95-yard drive with a very inexperienced offense to score with 14 seconds to go in the game. It was a big win for us. We knew going into this year that we had the chance to be really good come October, but with our schedule and all the teams we have to play, we didn't know what that was really going to look like, especially here early. We're week 4, and going into it, we thought if we came out of these first 4 games 2-2, that was going to be a success, and to be sitting at 3-0 and then have to play another good team in Maryville. Excuse me. I'm really proud of these kids.
Hunter Dance at quarterback. What have you seen out of him in terms of progression through these first few weeks?
Well, Hunter's a really smart kid. He don't make the same mistakes twice. I thought he's played really well. I thought he played really well at Bearden when we played them. And Clinton, I think he took a step back, seeing some different coverages and stuff. But he really grew from that and had an unbelievable game against Farragut.
Typing in y'all stats each week, I see a young man with his last name, I think DeRoche, had 6 sacks now this year. Tell me about him, because this is a guy that I'm not familiar with just yet.
Well, White's a junior here. He's set and gotten stronger since he's got here. Really was anxious to play, and he gets a chance this year, and he's made the most of it. He's made a lot of big plays, a lot of big sacks for us in critical situations. I think he had 4 this past week against Farragut, and you know, Wyatt will be the first one to tell you that C.J. Smith's getting a lot of attention, and C.J.'s his best friend right now.
Yeah, I mean, he's able to, CJ's drawing double teams, he's able to kind of free him up. And
yes, you know, CJ's getting double teamed about every snap, and Wyatt's one-on-one, and Wyatt's a heck of a football player. There's just some really good people playing in front of him the past couple of years, and he's took advantage of every opportunity.
Big opportunity this week for your football team against Maryville, a team that you guys got the better of last year. And what's different that you guys seen on film with this Maryville team as opposed to last year?
Well, Maryville's always going to be a well-coached team. Coach Hunt and his staff, they do a great job. You know, they're a lot like us. I think when we looked at the starting lineup on defense for them, they had 1 starter back. And you flip that over to the offense, and they lost a bunch also. So they're learning also, but we know they're going to be well prepared, and they're still a dang good football team, and it's going to be a big-time challenge for us.
Yeah, usually it's them wearing the bullseye. People want to go out to Maryville and knock them off. This time you guys are kind of wearing it a little bit. I'm sure they want a little bit of payback. Do you talk with y'all guys about that, or is this not apply?
No, I don't think it applies. Our team's focused on us being the best that they can be, and I don't think a team from Knox County went to Maryville and won since 1999. So this team's excited about the opportunity that we have, but we also know it's a huge challenge.
Endless hold times and that user-friendly website can just add to your frustrations when you need business to run on time. Your contact who is just a phone call away doesn't turn out to be so available after all. Best Logistics Group puts you first. When our team promises we can handle that, you can count on us to be there when you need us, not just when it's convenient. To put an end to your supply chain headaches, just remember there's Best Logistics Group.
Technology has certainly made everyone better, but it's the people that separate the good from the best.
When you shop at Elliott's, your journey is our purpose.
North Knox Siding and Windows is a complete exterior home improvement company that can help you with all your exterior needs. Visit us today at 5618 North Broadway.
Final segment of the show here on the walkthrough presented by Coker Rentals, and that means one thing. It's Waffle House time. Waffle House, who's going to eat here in week 3? This is what we do each and every week on Instagram. We put up a post. We let all the kids, adults, whoever, put their predictions out there. We're always the ones making the predictions. Why don't you guys make predictions? So we tell you to drop a player who's going to ball out on this Friday night. So let's share some of the best comments. We got Boski. If you don't know who Boski is, that's a web wide receiver, Marquise Barrett. That's his nickname. He goes for his teammate Gregory Tate, who's starting to climb up the receiving yardage charts this year in the area. Just a young kid, sophomore, and starting to fill that role aptly for Webb School of Knoxville. He also gives a shout out to Brandon Winton, his former teammate, now a wide receiver at Alcoa. Bryson Vowell, former Anderson County wide receiver, as always, shouts out Bennett Campbell. We'll see if Bennett Campbell eats here in week 4. Trey Wilhite goes for, Trey Wilhite goes for his teammate Keller Cooper. Of course, Trey Wilhite having a big year out at Lenore City High School, and as they try to bounce back from a loss in week 3. Trey Wilhite, we talked about him. Let's scroll. Eli Evans, baseball star out at Farragut High School. He says his teammate Landis Davila is going to ball out. He's going to eat in week 4, and he certainly had a great year so far. The Virginia Tech baseball commitment also has some football offers to play at the next level, but it looks like he's going to stick with baseball going forward. Sebastian Correa, Loudon football standout goes with Jackson Collins. We're getting a lot of Will Spill. Let's check out this guy. A lot of web players shouting out Will Spiller. So we'll check on Will's progress Friday night, see what his stat line looks like, see if some of his teammates and web faithful accurately predict him eating on week 4. Let's keep scrolling down through. And again, thanks to everybody for participating. We got Jaden Begovich, lineman at South Doyle, shouting out his quarterback, Maddox Cup. We got Aiden Bond 3 saying only one Zay. That's Isaiah Hall. Isaiah Hall, quarterback at Anderson County. Also, Nick Moog, he shouts out. Hopefully, Nick Moog is on the mend and he'll get to play for Anderson County. All right, we'll cut it short there as I'm starting to lose my voice. Thank you to everybody. Go to Instagram, / 5 Star Preps. You can find that post. It has the Waffle House logo on it. Check out all the nominations. There's so many. It's fun. Again, I don't think some of these guys even play football. They're just shouting out their boys. But a lot of these guys are. Cameron Bates is on here. He's had a phenomenal year running the football for Halls High School. So we'll certainly keep an eye on him. Liam Bokey, Oliver Springs quarterback, I believe, is definitely one that got shouted out on that Instagram post. So check us out on all of our social media channels, Twitter /X, Instagram. We're on Threads, we're on TikTok, we're on Facebook, we're on YouTube. So much kind of different content on all those channels. So give us a follow, help support what we do here at 5 Star Preps. All right, now it's time for our predictions. Got a lot of big games to get to in the area. Of course, Alcoa and Greenville played Thursday night, but we're going to concentrate our efforts on Friday night's games as we look at our predictions. And predictions have been hitting at around 81.5%. We predict about 40 to 45 games each and every week on 5starpreps.com. Not just the big games, but we look at outlying schools as well that are in our coverage area. And so we're not going to go through all 40 of those predictions tonight, but we will look at some key ones, starting with Catholic at Ensworth. We talked about this in a previous segment of the show. Catholic has not fared well in Division II AAA play, but we're expecting them to go on the road. Tyreek King is going to be just a phenomenal college prospect, and he's having a big sophomore year, as I mentioned. He and Jaden Neal have a big night against the Tigers. Tigers do have some studs on defense, so you'll want to keep an eye out on that. But we like Catholic to go on the road and win that football game in Nashville on Friday night. Clinton at Campbell County. This is a key game for Clinton. They cannot lose this game. This is a huge game towards their playoff hopes. I like Clinton to win this football game. I think running the football with Juwan Goins, getting him going, and they got Maddox back at wide receiver a week or so ago. He's a big-time playmaker. I think Clinton gets it done. I think run stop wise, they're able to keep Campbell County in check a little bit and get the win. But again, high scoring game. Hardin Valley at Halls, both teams 3-0. Both teams love to run the football, play great defense. Halls' offensive line, I'm expecting to be the difference in this football game. Just being able to move people at the point of contact right there at the line of scrimmage is just a special group that they have up front at Hall. So that offensive line is going to be the key in that win. 17-12 is what I have it. Real low scoring game up in Halls in week 4. West High School at Maryville. Again, Maryville limping into this game. They're down a quarterback. They're down a running back. That West defense keeps them in it throughout the game on the road at Maryville. And then this evolving offensive identity at West High School and Marshawn Bowers at running back puts together a game-winning drive towards a kick late at Maryville. They get the win in narrow fashion in week 4. Carter at South Doyle, I like Carter to get that win. A lot of momentum going with this offense right now. It just seems to be gelling and having a feel-good sauce about it right now. So we're going to take Carter to win that game over South Doyle. And lastly, Grace Christian at CAK. CAK has a couple guys running the football now. They have impressive wide receivers that have come off the injured list and really kind of galvanized things offensively in that rivalry game. CAK gets the win. Check out all the scores and predictions on 5starpreps.com before the games tonight. Again, promo code expires tonight. LIVE50, 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 whichever way you want to go with it. 50% off your first month or year subscription. All right, that's going to do it for tonight's show right here on the walkthrough presented by Coker Rentals. We'll see you in week 5. Not a huge lineup of matchups for next week, but still some solid ones all together. And we'll take a look back at tonight's action and look ahead into week 5 next week right here on the walkthrough.
Welcome to the 5-Star Preps Walkthrough. Powered by Coker Rental Company. The Walkthrough delivers important pregame news, breakdowns of the week's biggest matchups, and more from the teams and players you spend your fall Friday nights cheering for.
Are you ready for some football?
We're ready for some football, baby.
Now, join us as our host, Jesse Smithey, and the rest of the 5-Star Preps team deliver the most comprehensive high school football coverage in East Tennessee. It's time for the 5-Star Preps Walkthrough.